Hey everyone, REDyTay here, ready to kick off another Pokemon challenge. The last one with Mr. Mime and FireRed wasn't much of a challenge, but we kind of expected that since Psychic types are always strong in Generation 1 games, even in the remakes. Today we're going with something a bit more bland in terms of typing, and our success is going to be based entirely on stats. In today's challenge we are going to see if you can beat Pokemon Red with only a Kangaskhan. This is another challenge where I'm using a Pokemon I've never used before. That makes sense, considering Kangaskhan is hard to catch in these games. As I mentioned earlier, Kangaskhan is a plain old normal type, which means we won't get many strategic advantages with this typing. The usual stuff applies. We're weak to fighting types and immune to ghost types, although we all know that immunity barely works in Generation 1. Kangaskhan's moveset is as basic as they come, really one-dimensional. To make matters worse, the attacking moves we learn aren't the best. You gotta love Generation 1 when you can learn 3 different punches and none of them are fighting type. Rage is a useless move, and while I like Bite for its flinching ability, it will be a while before we can use it. Despite this lackluster moveset, one of the best things about Generation 1 normal types is the TM list. It's a sizable list and hard to fit on the screen, and we can learn some good moves from various types, such as Water, Ice, Electric, Ground, and even Fire Blast. At least we can get some variety from the teams in this game. However, there's one problem. Kangaskhan doesn't have a good special stat. As I mentioned earlier, our stats are what will make or break this challenge. While that's true for all challenges, it's even more so with solo normal types. A 490 base total is actually pretty good. Well, technically 400 since there's no special split in this generation, but still, all the stats are solid here, except for the special. We'll have to play the game to see if that stat or the lack of moves truly set us back. This intro is getting really long, so let's get started and see how things play out. But first, let's quickly go over the rules. I can only use Kangaskhan throughout the entire run. I can still use other Pokemon for HM use though to get around. No cheats, hacks, or glitches to advance. I'll also stick with the trend of not using any items in battle. I know I've dealt with tougher challenges, but I still think this one will come with its fair share of obstacles. Here we go. So here we are again, starting in Pallet Town and getting our Kangaskhan from Professor Oak. I used the Pokemon Randomizer to replace Squirtle with Kangaskhan so our rival would have Bulbasaur. We don't have any weaknesses against any of the starters, and it feels like it's been a while since we've seen Venusaur, so I figured, why not? I named our Kangaskhan Flash. I know it's not the fastest and it's not an electric type, but this run has some nostalgic ties to it, which led me to this name. Anyway, our stats are fairly balanced, while special being the lowest already, but we won't be relying on that stat for a while. I really hope speed and attack stay close throughout the whole game. I love hitting fast and hard. Right now we only have the multi-attack move Comet Punch and the useless Rage in our moveset, which is not the best start. Case in point, Comet Punch misses a couple times at the start of the battle. Yeah, this move has 85% accuracy, which is low enough to feel like it's even lower. That said, when it does land, it hits hard enough to finish the battle relatively quickly. It helps that we have a bit of an advantage with a more developed attack stat than our rival. We get the win, complete some of the other early game tasks, and soon we're ready for a rematch with our rival. This time we're at level 8 thanks to battling some wild Pokemon. Our rival's Pidgey still has the advantage being one level higher than us, however, we're faster and do a good chunk of damage with a 2-hit Comet Punch. Gust isn't doing much and we almost knock Pidgey out with a 3-hit Comet Punch. This means we take another Gust and then use another Comet Punch again for the knockout. We stick with that move against Bulbasaur and it lands 3 times for significant damage. We have Rage, but it's such a useless move in Generation 1 and trust me, it will be replaced as soon as we get the chance. We take a Tackle and then miss our next Comet Punch. When it finally lands, the damage output is noticeably less due to Bulbasaur's Growl. We get hit by another Growl, but it doesn't hinder us enough to stop us from winning the battle with another Comet Punch. Now we need to get through Viridian Forest and prepare for our battle with Brock. As most of you would expect, the bug catchers here are not a problem, but we'll need to grind more outside of these battles if we want to beat Brock. Man, why can't Comet Punch just be an actual fighting move? It literally has punch in the name. In Pokemon Yellow, having a Mankey with a low kick would absolutely destroy Brock's team because Rock is weak to fighting moves. But no, in this generation, Kangaskhan learned several more moves that are normal despite having fighting type names. Well, complaining about it won't help us here. We get out of Viridian Forest easily enough, but like I said, I'm not thrilled with our level, so we grind to level 12 to gauge how we stand against Brock. Well, this was an interesting battle. Comet Punch performed better than I expected, but it still wasn't doing much damage overall. What really helped us here was getting extremely lucky with critical hits. This happened several times, which was great considering Geodude spent most of its turns buffing its defense with Defense Curl. and critical hits bypassed stat boosts, so those turns were essentially wasted for Brock. Geodude did finally attack, but only dealt 5 damage before we knocked it out shortly after. Now Onix was a scary encounter. We had already used up a lot of our Comet Punches, so we were at risk of running out of power points for this move. Plus, if Onix used Bide, it could easily spell the end for us since we don't have any non-damaging moves to stall it out. The frustrating part was that, aside from one 4-hit combo at the beginning, we mostly landed only 2-hit Comet Punches for the rest of the battle. We really needed maximum efficiency for this move while we still had it. On the bright side, Onix tried to use Screech a couple times early on, but both attempts failed, which was great. The problem came when Onix set up a Bide. We had no choice but to keep attacking. Unfortunately, we attacked 3 times before Onix hit us with Bide. Surprisingly, Bide didn't do much damage, so maybe we have a chance to win after all. But then we ran out of Comet Punches and had to rely on Rage. To make things worse, Onix's Screeches started landing, lowering our defense. However, a critical hit with Rage and a random attack boost gave us some hope. I guess Brock was disappointed with Bide because Onix used Tackle for its next attack. It hit hard enough to make me nervous. The pressure was on and we watched Rage slowly chip away at Onix's health. How many tackles could we endure? We took another Screech and Rage left Onix with just a sliver of health. Onix hit us with another tackle, leaving us with 9 HP, but we get another attack boost, which we might not have needed, and Rage finished off Onix, meaning we beat Brock on the first try. I have to admit I'm a bit surprised. I thought we need to be in the mid-teens level-wise to outlast Brock's team, but hey, this is great for our progress and we can jump right into the rest of the game. Mount Moon was pretty easy to navigate. I tried to avoid the Hiker, but his rock Pokemon were easier to deal with than Brock's. Still, we had to leave Mount Moon because once again we ran out of attacking moves. I mean, we didn't run out of power points for Rage, but do you really want to see me finish this cave run with Rage? I don't. But other than that, getting to the end of the cave was as easy as choosing the Dome Fossil over the Helix Fossil at the end. You know what else was really easy? The rival battle as soon as we got to Cerulean City. Sure, we took some damage from Pidgeotto's Gust, but other than that, we took out the rest of his team with Comet Punch easily. It missed a few times, but we didn't take any damage on those turns, so the battle was a breeze to wrap up. After taking care of Nugget Bridge and visiting Bill's house, we reached level 25, and Misty didn't stand a chance against us either. Staryu went down after one round of Comet Punches. Starmie lucked out when our first Comet Punch missed, but all it did was hit us with 2 tackles while we responded with Comet Punch, quickly taking it down. The best part of this battle, besides the win, was finally learning Bite, a more reliable attacking move. SSN time. So, you will be happy to know that Kangaskhan cannot learn Dig. I mentioned this because in many of my Generation 1 challenges, the Pokemon I'm using usually ends up learning Dig from the TM we get from the Rocket Grunt before leaving Cerulean City. I get that it might seem predictable, but come on, it's a great move in Generation 1. That said, I made sure to pick up the TM for another move I frequently use in these challenges while we're on the SSN. If you haven't already guessed it, that move is Body Slam. I know, it's predictable, but it's a really strong move, it can cause paralysis, and let's face it, we don't really have any amazing consistent moves yet, besides Bite, which we just recently acquired. Aside from that, the SSN is where I start limiting the battles we engage in. We're gaining levels pretty easily, and I don't want to get too far ahead of our opponents this early in the run. We might need that advantage for the end of the Elite Four, but for now, it would be overkill. Case in point, the rival battle on the SSN was also a breeze. We just alternated between Body Slam and Bite, and each one was a one-shot. It's not the toughest rival battle, but I always appreciate a no-damage sweep. Now that we have the cut HM, let's see if Lieutenant Surge gives us any trouble. The Trash Can Challenge was actually one of the fastest ones I've ever done while making these videos, so that's a good sign. And it is. It helps that we're about 10 levels higher than his team. See what I mean about managing the level lead? Body Slam quickly demolishes his whole team, with all of them going down in one hit. Well, time to wander blindly through Rock Tunnel. So far it's going well. We're hitting pretty hard at our current level. Yes, we have to deal with some hikers, but they're not giving us any real trouble. I'm trying my best to avoid trainers while we're here, but since I didn't bother getting Flash, we can't see that well. If we bump into someone, we bump into someone. That being said, we made it out without any real issues, and I think we're ready for another rival battle. Body Slam one-shots Pidgeotto and we reach level 36. Hold on, we're about to learn Mega Punch. Okay, Body Slam also makes quick work of Gyarados. I wasn't sure if Bite would one-shot Growlithe, but it does, so that's nice. Our newly acquired Mega Punch keeps the one-shots going, taking out Kadabra. All that's left is Ivysaur, which manages to land a Leech Seed on us. We stick with Mega Punch, and you guessed it, another one-shot. A no damage sweep, and we've been steamrolling our rival in this challenge. Now let's see how far this momentum can take us against Erica. Mega Punch does a lot of damage to Victory Bell, but it hangs on with a sliver of health. Then we get hit with Sleep Powder and fall asleep. While we're asleep, we also get stuck in a wrap, but it's not doing much damage. We soon wake up, but we're still trapped in that wrap. When we finally get a chance to attack, we take down Victory Bell with Bite. Tangela withstands a Mega Punch too and hits us with Constrict. Fortunately, we can still attack, so another Bite takes out another one of Erica's Pokemon. All that is left is Vileplume, and our opening Body Slam immediately paralyzes it. Despite that, Vileplume puts us asleep with another Sleep Powder. We're not asleep for long, and we wake up just in time to lose some health from a Mega Drain. Even with that recovery, we easily knock out Vileplume with a Bite. That was a smooth victory for the most part. Next, we need to take care of Team Rocket at the game corner to progress. Our level lead is solid at this point, so I try to avoid as many grunts as possible to get to Giovanni quickly and make this a more even fight. Well, as even as it can be since we are 14 levels higher than his opening Onix, so not really even at all. Mega Punch doesn't even take Onix to half health though. It misses his Rock Throw and I switch to Body Slam, which still isn't strong enough for the knockout. Giovanni wastes a turn as usual by using a Guard Spec, and we finish Onix off with a Bite. Body Slam does a much better job against Rhyhorn, but it doesn't paralyze it like I was hoping. Oh look, another Guard Spec from Giovanni. One more Mega Punch takes out Rhyhorn. Now it's a Kangaskhan vs Kangaskhan mirror match. We're faster, so we land the first hit with Mega Punch, which hits much harder than its Bite. Our Bite then finishes the battle. Okay, now we have the Silph Scope and we can deal with the rest of the Pokemon Tower. There's just one problem. We don't have a single move that can be used to attack ghost types. Since we're in Celadon, we head to the vending machines to get drinks so we can access Saffron City and get the TM for Ice Beam from the girl on the rooftop of the Celadon department store. While this move gives us a way to attack, it isn't very effective against ghosts here. Our special stat is pretty low, not terrible, but it's not great either, so we only have 10 power points to work with before needing to heal and replenish. We try to skip as many battles as possible, maneuvering around to avoid unnecessary fights. I don't think Ice Beam will be the answer against Agatha when we get to her, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. At least the Team Rocket grunts don't use ghost types, so they're real easy to deal with. Now that we have the Pokeflute, we can catch Snorlax for HM use and head to Koga's gym. Our level lead has shrunk a bit. We're only 5 levels higher than Koga's first Coughing. Body Slam doesn't even one-shot it, which is a little concerning. At least its Smokescreen fails. A Bite takes it out, and now we have to deal with Muck. I stick with Body Slam, hoping for some paralysis luck. It happens, and I am pleasantly surprised by how much damage it deals. It's more than I was expecting, and hits over half of its health. We avoid getting poisoned by Sludge, but our Mega Punch misses, so Muck is still hanging on. Koga just uses an X attack, and our next Mega Punch lands, but Muck is left with what must be 1 HP. I'm not sure what Koga's plan is with using another X attack, but it doesn't matter as a Bite knocks Muck out. Another Coughing, another Body Slam for us, and another X attack from Koga. How many of these does he have? It doesn't matter, Bite causes another faint. Now we have to deal with Wheezing before it can use Self-Destruct. Body Slam is clutch again, causing paralysis, but Wheezing is still above half health. It only uses Smog, so we're still in good shape. I switch to Flash using Bite, hoping for a flinch. It doesn't flinch, but Koga uses yet another X attack, so it doesn't matter. Another Bite, no flinch, but Wheezing is paralyzed, which is just as good. One more Bite and we win. We're on such a roll that I just want to get through all the gym badges as fast as possible, so we hurry to Cinnabar Island, making our way through the Pokemon Mansion, and we get the key to face Blaine. We answer all the riddles to skip the battles because, you know, level lead. But wait, what level lead? We're only on 1 level above Blaine's Growlithe, and that said, our opening Body Slam is a critical hit one-shot, so at least that was easy. Ponytail is also a one-shot, though not a critical hit. Rapidash survives Body Slam and starts a Fire Spin. And look, Blaine correctly uses a Super Potion. He's learning. We eventually break out of the Fire Spin, hit it with another Body Slam, and Blaine uses another Super Potion. At least he's using them here, not saving them for Arcanine. Bite takes Rapidash down to low health, but then it uses a Growl. That might not seem like much, but we don't want a lowered physical attack stat when it comes to Arcanine. Another Bite knocks out Rapidash, so now it's just Arcanine left. Body Slam probably takes about a quarter of its health, while its takedown brings us closer to half health. I want to stick with Body Slam because I really want the paralysis, or we can just take Arcanine down with a random critical hit. That works too. Our level lead is gone, but let's see if we can take on Giovanni one more time at this current level. Wait, did we forget a gym? Oh crap, Sabrina. How did I forget that? That means I also haven't done the Self-Co rival battle. 1 sec. Okay, we're now in Silphco and jumping into the rival battle. Hey, we have a level lead again. Body Slam hits hard, we take a wing attack, but then we finish Pidgeot off with a bite. Gyarados is next and survives a Body Slam, but it only uses Leer, so we knock it out with a bite. Body Slam finally lands as a one-shot against Growlithe. It also one-shots Alakazam, so we're in good shape against Venusaur. But first, I need to check out Dizzy Punch. Don't think I've ever used this move before. You know what? I don't think we'll use it. Okay, time for Venusaur. Mega Punch hits really hard, leaving Venusaur with about a third of its health remaining. Vine Whip barely scratches Flash, so Bite knocks Venusaur out for the win. Alright, Giovanni fight next, and then we take out Sabrina, and then Giovanni again. Nidorino is one-shot by Mega Punch, back to the Kangaskhan vs Kangaskhan match, and it's literally a repeat of the last battle. Body Slam from Flash, a weak bite from Giovanni's Kangaskhan, and our bite leading to the knockout. We're now at level 47, and our special stat isn't the best. That being said, it's enough for Ice Beam to one-shot Rhyhorn. We almost one-shot Nidoqueen with a Body Slam, but at least we paralyzed it. It only manages a weak Poison Sting, so we finish another battle with Bite. Now it's time to battle Sabrina for the second to last badge. That battle was really uneventful. Body Slam one-shots all of her Pokemon. There's nothing else to say. Okay, hi Giovanni, we're back. I feel like we just battled you. Ice Beam is kind of useful here. It almost one-shots Rhyhorn, and since Horn Drill is absolutely useless in this situation, we easily take it out in the next turn. Dugtrio is very weak defensively, so I would have been genuinely surprised if it survived Body Slam. Yeah, it doesn't. Nidoqueen doesn't survive Body Slam either, but that was probably because it was a critical hit. It's not a critical hit against Nidoking, which is why it survives when it comes out. Giovanni is back to using Guard Spec, so we knock it out soon after with a bite. All that is left is Rhydon, which is technically one level higher than us. Body Slam doesn't do much, but since Rhydon is just given a Guard Spec, we're still in a good spot. Despite Body Slam being extremely lackluster, I'm sticking with it because I want the paralysis. It's still better than whatever Giovanni's doing. He's just having Rhydon spam Fissure or Horn Drill, both of which can't hit us due to Flash's stats. Gotta love smart AI. After a while though, the paralysis still isn't happening, so I give Ice Beam another try, and it hits hard enough to end the battle and wrap up this badge run. We've reached level 50. Not much to report stat-wise, everything is looking great except for that special stat. It's barely being used now, but we'll probably need it for battles down the line. For the most part though, we have hard-hitting physical moves, and with an attack stat of 122, we are a bulldozing force to be reckoned with. Surprisingly, our speed stat is actually higher than our attack, which I didn't really see coming. With these stats, we're heading into another rival battle. Not to sound like a broken record, but we open with Body Slam. I love landing some paralysis on our opponent. This time it doesn't happen, but when Pidgeot just responds with a wing attack, we can easily take it out from there. We switch to Ice Beam for Rhyhorn, and it's just strong enough for the one-shot. Body Slam lands as a critical hit against Gyarados, but it's still standing with a very small sliver of health left. It delivers a bite, and then we do the same to take it down. Growlithe follows, but soon goes down quickly from a Body Slam. The same goes for Alakazam. Venusaur is more tanky, so Body Slam only takes it to half health. It hits with a weak Vine Whip, and we respond with a critical hit Body Slam for the win. Now it's time for the final preparations for the Elite Four. I'm battling the trainers here because we no longer have a level lead, and I think we need to gain some more levels if we want to stand a chance against this Elite Four. We're in a good spot, but we need to be just a little bit better. When all is said and done, we're at level 55. Not much has changed since we last looked at Flash's stats at level 50. Everything has improved, and we're not making any changes to the moveset going into these battles. We're hitting hard, moving fast, and we're sporting a solid defense. I'm worried about Agatha because of her ghost types, but overall I think we're ready. Let's jump in and see. Okay, Lorelei is a problem right out of the gate. None of her Pokemon are individually the issue, but collectively they're taking us down. Dugong likes to use Growl, which can really hamper our essential attack stat. We've also had terrible luck with Confusion when we get confused. We take out most of her Pokemon, but by the time we reach her last or second last Pokemon, we go down. We just accumulate too much damage over time, and we can't hold out long enough to secure the win. With 5 rare candies, let's see how things look if Flash reaches level 60. Things are definitely looking better. The opening Body Slam against Dugong takes almost 2/3 of its health and paralyzes it. As a result, Dugong remains paralyzed on the next turn, allowing us to finish it off with another Body Slam. The next Body Slam does similar damage to Cloyster, possibly due to it being a critical hit. We soon get confused by Supersonic, which causes us to hurt ourselves in Confusion the next turn. We hurt ourselves again on the following turn after taking additional damage from a Spike Cannon. However, we soon recover and take Cloister down with another Body Slam. When Slowbro comes out, we're still confused, but we manage to use Body Slam to bring it to half health and paralyze it. Slowbro wastes a turn using Amnesia, giving us the chance to snap out of confusion and land another Body Slam. Despite the hard hits, Slowbro remains standing. Lorelei uses a Super Potion, but Mega Punch is strong enough to finish it off. Mega Punch also one-shots Jinx when it appears. Next is Lapras. Mega Punch takes it to half health, which is good. However, Lapras' Hydro Pump is intimidating because our special is low. And it brings us down to 19 health. I hope we can end the battle here. Unfortunately, Body Slam falls short, but it does paralyze Lapras. Lorelei uses another Super Potion, giving us the perfect opportunity to use Bite and knock out Lapras. We've won the match. Bruno can also be a problem, given our weakness to fighting types, which is his focus. But first he sends out Onix, which doesn't stand a chance against our Ice Beam. Hitmonchan is the first fighting type out, but we're faster and we take it out with a Mega Punch. It might not be a fighting move, but it's hitting hard enough. Hitmonlee is next and can handle a Mega Punch, though its Mega Kick could be a concern if it landed. Fortunately, Bite takes it out easily. Another Onix comes out and another Ice Beam finishes it off, this time with a critical hit. Machamp is all that Bruno has left. Body Slam brings it down to a little over half health. Machamp's submission does nearly as much damage to us, but we're still faster, so another Body Slam secures the win. Well, we've conquered one of the two major hurdles in this Elite Four run, and now it's time for the next one. For most of Agatha's team, we only have one move to use against them, and it's not particularly effective because it's not super effective against ghosts. Ice Beam is a good move, but with our current special stat, it's only decent at best. This becomes evident when we use it on her first Gengar. We get confused and put to sleep soon after, and Dream Eater stacks up the damage quickly. We then easily get taken out by Nightshade. It's clear that winning this battle with our current setup is unrealistic. So, what can we do? Leveling up isn't a viable option because our special stat grows so slowly and it's the only stat letting us down here, so grinding won't really help. Let's check the team list. There's one move that could be our ticket to victory. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? If you guessed Earthquake, you'd be right. It one-shots Gengar right from the start. Golbat is immune to Earthquake, so we switch back to Body Slam, which paralyzes our opponent. We then use another Body Slam to knock it out quickly. Haunter's next, and if Gengar couldn't handle Earthquake, Haunter doesn't stand a chance. Arbok comes out next after that, and I should have used Earthquake here because Mega Punch doesn't deliver a one-shot. Screech could make the rest of this battle a bit daunting, but we take out Arbok with another Mega Punch. The final Gengar doesn't pose much of a threat since Earthquake is still available. With the best ground move in the game, this battle is mostly in the bag. However, this doesn't mean the Lance battle will be easy. Earthquake won't do anything to his opening Gyarados, so Body Slam is the way to go. It performs well, though we don't get a paralysis, but I'm okay with that. It does more damage than Gyarados' Hyper Beam does to us. Another Body Slam takes Gyarados down. The first Dragonair is out, but it's no match for a critical hit Ice Beam. Second Dragonair survives our non-critical Ice Beam, but Lance's AI proves to be inept by repeatedly using Agility, which is ineffective even though the computer thinks that it's a powerful Psychic type move. Despite Dragonair's increased speed, it can't withstand another Ice Beam. Aerodactyl, which is weak to Ice Beam, is hit with a critical hit, but survives with what must be 1 health. Fortunately, Aerodactyl is frozen solid. Despite Lance using Hyper Potion, it doesn't matter because the Generation 1 freezing mechanic prevents Aerodactyl from moving. We soon take it down. The last Pokemon is Dragonite, and I am curious about how Ice Beam performs here. Dragonite is 4 times weak to ice moves, but our special stat might fall short. It has a little over a quarter of its health left. Dragonite misses its Hyper Beam, and our next Ice Beam lands, securing our victory. Beating Lance on the first try always feels great in these Elite Four runs. Now we just have to battle our rival one more time. We've had a lot of easy wins in this run so far. Will we finish this series the same way? Pidgeot withstands a Body Slam and uses a Mirror move, which means we get hit by a Body Slam in return. Fortunately, we don't get paralyzed. Another Body Slam, however, easily takes Pidgeot down. Alakazam almost goes down to an Earthquake, prompting our rival to use a full restore. We stick with Earthquake, which hits harder but isn't a one-shot. Alakazam then gets the chance to attack, landing a critical hit Sidekick that takes us out. That's just bad luck. Can we still get a win from this point? We try Body Slam against Pidgeot again. In hindsight, we probably should have used Ice Beam. It's still not a one-shot, but this time though, our rival wastes a turn using Whirlwind instead of Mirror Move, so we take Pidgeot out and we remain at full health. We face Alakazam again, this time with Body Slam, and we get a one-shot. Rhydon is next, and we switch to Ice Beam. It does significant damage, but it doesn't cause a faint. However, it does cause a freeze, and I think this run has had more freezes than any other challenge run I've seen. I was going to use another Ice Beam to finish Rhydon, but we're out of power points for that move. Body Slam isn't hitting hard enough, but Rhydon is stuck, so we can use Body Slam to just finish it off. Looking back, I should have used Earthquake to take Rhydon out sooner. Gyarados comes out next, taking a Body Slam and then dealing damage to us with a Hyper Beam. I really appreciate our defense stat. Another Body Slam knocks Gyarados out. Arcanine is up next, and even if Earthquake wasn't a critical hit, I think it would still be a one-shot. Finally, we face Venusaur. I hoped for a better result with Earthquake, but it's still effective. Venusaur uses Growth, which doesn't help much. Body Slam hits hard, but Venusaur survives. Razor Leaf is a concern if it crits, and it does. We're only left with 5 health. This is extremely close. Thankfully, our speed stat ensures we attack first, and Body Slam doesn't miss, ending this part of the game. Bulbasaur really didn't make an appearance in the rival battles until the very end, where it gave us a scare with Razor Leaf. Maybe choosing it as our rival starter was a good decision after all. Regardless, we won, and we're back to being Pokemon champions. But this is Generation 1, so let's try Mewtwo. We're a strong physical attacker, going against probably the best special attacker in the game. I know we're at a lower level, and we're slower, and we have a poor special stat, but I didn't expect an opening sidekick to put us in such a tight spot. Our Body Slam looks pretty weak in comparison. I thought Mewtwo would end the battle with another sidekick, but it sets up a barrier instead. I'll gladly take another turn to attack. Fortunately, a critical hit Body Slam paralyzes Mewtwo and gives us a chance to win. Mewtwo is slower now due to paralysis, and we finish it off with one more Body Slam. That battle could have easily gone either way. We could have lost and had to try numerous times before winning. Yes, I used the Body Slam a lot in this battle, just like a lot of my Generation 1 runs, but it's such an attractive move in these challenges. It hits hard, it paralyzes, and almost every Pokemon can learn it. It's almost impossible not to teach it to Kangaskhan. While this challenge might not have been the most difficult, it was another opportunity to use a Pokemon I've never used as a kid. It was fun to experiment and see how it fared throughout the game. My next challenge will involve using another Pokemon I've never used before, but this one will be much more difficult. In my next video, we're going to see if it's possible to beat Pokemon Gold with Pineco. I haven't started it yet due to other projects, stay tuned for some updates, but on paper it's going to be a doozy. In the meantime, check out some of my other challenges and don't forget to like, subscribe for updates, and leave comments about what you enjoyed, what challenges you'd like to see in the future, and any suggestions you have for improving these videos. I always appreciate some creative input. Thanks for watching everyone, and until next time, Geronimo.